Hello wrestling fans, welcome to Usualmike Television. This is my review of Battleground 2016. So the women's tag match was Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Sasha Banks and a mystery opponent. Took a while, the build up was good, and it's Bayley. I'm a hugger. Bayley is now on the roster, and her first ever match on the main roster is in a pay-per-view, and it's this one. And they pick up the win. Awesome. The match was pretty good for the start-off match of the thing being the women's match was fantastic. Big pops, great moves, tough as nails, and Sasha put the bank statement right on Charlotte, and Charlotte tapped out for the girls to have their win. Great start. The next match was the New Day versus the Wyatts. Now this is an interesting build-up because they've fought previously at the compound, and they've always got that that element of I'm so scared of the Wyatts. That Xavier Woods, the camera was in close on his face a few times. I don't know what to think. It was tense, very tense for him. And when Bray Wyatt does his upside down thing, it was scary as hell. The match was enjoyable, lots of good laughs out of it. Great match. I always love watching the Wyatts and the New Day. Both of the tag teams I like, and to have them wrestle each other, it's good television. Between the matches, they showed a bit of footage from the pre-show of Breeze Dango, which is Tyler Breeze and Fandango fighting against the Usos, and Breeze Dango won, and it reminded me of Chuck and Billy. They were in the red, and it's like, if you don't know who Chuck and Billy is, go and Google it. It's back in the day. Next match was Rusev versus Zack Ryder for the United States title. It was a good match. Oh yes, the attire of Zack Ryder looked like old school Sting in the USA colours. All he needed was the spiky blonde hair and the face paint. It was Sting. Very, very good representation of him. Rusev won the match with an accolade, very similar to the Kalisto one where he flipped him in half. Bodies don't bend that way. It was a good win by Rusev. He hurt him, but Zack Ryder so close to winning the US title. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens may have finally finished their grudge match feud that's been going on forever and a day in a fantastic, brutal match. These guys really put everything on the table. Everything's out there. At one stage, Kevin Owens, I think, was picked up by Sami Zayn and driven into the apron on the outside onto his shoulder. Jesus, that looked painful. That's not soft there. That's a very hard spot to be smashed down. But I gotta say this, great match. Sami Zayn come out on top. Congratulations. Is this the end of the feud? We'll see. The next match was Natalya versus Becky Lynch. More women's match. No title on the line or anything. Just a plain old grudge match. This is a decent match. Wasn't much of a lead up. They've been beating each other up every now and again. Sort of on Raw here and there, but nothing to write home about. I'd have to give that match a 7 out of 10. Moving along. The Intercontinental Championship match. The Miz versus Darren Young. And in Darren Young's corner, of course, he's got Bob Backlund, and in the Miz's corner, he's got Maurice. It's like, would you like the old man or the pretty girl? But the thing about this match is, the Miz, at one stage, decides to walk off while the match is on. He's getting his ass kicked, so he decides, I'm done with this, goes to walk off, face to face with Bob Backlund. They look at each other, and I thought, that's Miz in like 40 years' time. He's exactly the same. He's looking in a mirror. Anyway. Gets back in the ring. Maurice falls over, hurts herself. They square off. I think the whole match ended in a disqualification because they're outside the ring for too long. Darren Young put that move that Bob Backlund gave him, but the Miz retains his title because the match was, I think it was a count out. I'm not even quite sure what happened, but it was just a kerfuffled mess at the end, but it was pretty funny. The following match after that was the Club versus Cena, Enzo, and Cass. Now, Enzo and Cass come out with Cena at the beginning and kill it with a promo that is funny as hell about, Mount Rushmore, and don't look at people in the eye while you're eating a banana. During the match, the Enzo came out wearing a jumpsuit. What do you call those things? Overalls. Yeah, during the match, Enzo was wearing a pair of overalls, and the back flipped down while he and had a poo emoji on the inside. What the hell is that? Funniest thing I've seen walking into the ring for a while. There was a lot of great spots in this. This is a very entertaining match. It went down to the wire at the end where Cena picked up AJ off the top rope and AA'd him off there, but he didn't land on his back. He landed on his high shoulder. That would have friggin' hurt, and that was the end of the match. But there was a lot of good spots, very entertaining. Maybe match of the night. I haven't decided yet between that match and the last match. It was terrific. And after that, we had the highlight reel, which was, I thought this was going to drag on like a bitch for ages because I had a lot of time to fill in, but it was well worth it. Randy Orton was the guest on Jericho's highlight reel, and it was funny as hell. It was hilarious. There was Viperville. So in the highlight reel, Randy comes out. He's wearing street clothes, which is, I've never seen him in street clothes ever. Couldn't recognize the man. Chris Jericho threatened Randy with a code breaker out of nowhere. No, that's not going to be a hashtag at all, but it's funny how. Randy said on the highlight reel, Brock Lesnar, who he's going to fight at SummerSlam, takes about 20 times to suplex someone to get him to Suplex City, but it only takes one time to go to Viperville with an RKO out of nowhere. That was friggin' funny. And he also mentioned no enhancement necessary as a little tongue-in-cheek thing on Brock Lesnar using the roids, but he's going to pay for that one. We begin the main event with all the commissioners and the GMs all coming out sit ringside in front of all the hundreds of commentators they've got there. First one into the ring was Seth Rollins. He had a great pop, the crowd loved him. And as usual, Roman came out next, and the boos, they were left booing loud, and then they turned it down. They'd like to mute the boos because you don't want to drag that on too long. It's just too much. And the crowd favourite, Dean Ambrose, he comes out, WWE champion, and the match is on. At the beginning, Seth Rollins was doing this. Anybody want a piece of this? And they weren't buying a single bit of it. But at different times during this great match, they teamed up. There was, two of them against Rollins, two of them against Roman, two of them against Ambrose. It was great. It was everywhere. Tables were used. Not tables. Commentators' tables were used. A chair was used. Lots. And this should have all been like some kind of disqualification, but they carried on with the match. Great match. It was really entertaining. Outside the ring for ages. There was lots of in-ring action in this match that was fantastic. Great spots. Hard hits, lots of Superman punches, spears, dirty deeds, pedigrees, you name it, had everything. And in the end, Dean Ambrose retains. He is the champ. He will take the belt to SmackDown Live. And the whole roster from SmackDown come out at the end to cheer him on, and the Usos picked him up and cheered him on the shoulders. It was a great moment. It's funny because the Usos must have been dirty because, Roman, their cousin, relative, brother, I don't know, he got beat. That's interesting. So that was the end of the pay-per-view, which I would give a 9 out of 10. I only think it would have made it better maybe if Brock turned up, but he was on the television screen during the highlight reel. Doesn't matter. We'll see him very soon at SummerSlam. That's it for my review. Fantastic. A much better pay-per-view than I would have expected. I wasn't expecting it to be so good, but that was pay-per-view quality. Anyway, you can follow me on Twitter at Usualmike30, or if you would like, you can follow me on Instagram at UsualMikeTelevision. Thank you for watching this review on Battleground 2016. Remember, I'll bring another one of these every month, my pay-per-view reviews. I like the sound of that. Thanks for watching and all the best. Out.